Hello, guys, and welcome to This Week in Cincinnati. Producer Ryan here with the message. We are foregoing the ad this week because we just want you guys to know that things might sound a little different for you a few weeks because none of us are in the office. The crew is all working from home, so that means that we are recording digitally. But a side effect of this is that we do have video of the podcast. That's right. We have a recording of Brett and Alysa talking, as well as me here at the beginning and at the end. So if you want to actually see our hosts do their thing, go ahead and check us out on YouTube or on Facebook, and we'll have the video versions up as well as our normal audio stuff. So yeah, hopefully we don't have to do this for too long, but we are trying to, do our best in the social distancing, flattening the curve, all that fun stuff. So just so you guys know, for a few weeks it's going to be a little bit different, but we are still going to try and bring you the best content that we can. So thanks for listening and enjoy the show, guys.
For the week of March 23rd, 2020, welcome to This Week in Cincinnati, the podcast dedicated to bring you the news of the Queen City without all of the depressing parts, which is everything right now.
A little bit.
We need to change that because we just should say without all of the parts. And just leave it like that. This week
Without
we're talking about yeah without the filter.
That's us.
Corona filter. Anyways, this week we're going to talk about local restaurants, celebrities only Cincinnati knows, bringing beer to the people, and much more.
Welcome to glorious Cincinnati. It is sensational for Cincinnati. It's skyline time, and this one belongs to the Reds. WKRP in Cincinnati.
So, how was your week, Alysa?
Surprisingly busy. I did close on a house this week for a client, which was pretty exciting. And I've been spending a lot of the week just taking advantage of all the local restaurants I can get myself into. Well, not into, but outside of. I had food from the Rind I picked up, Mom and M Coffee. I did a curbside pickup. Those guys are killing it right now. Had them get me some.
Hold on. Did you do the thing where you open the trunk and they put it in?
I haven't done that yet. Mom actually brought me my coffee and wine. Well, Tavala, I still walked into. They have a barrier. Once you get to the bar, they have tables and bar stools set up so that if they don't see you come in, you can't get in. Alley Bakery is really small, so they have a sign up. They're only allowing 2 people into the bakery at a time. But yeah, so just doing a lot of that. We went to Smale Park this week, the one day that it was 70 degrees for 2 hours.
Yeah.
We ran out and went down there, went for a walk through. Well, we actually left Smale, went all the way through, we did the Serpentine Wall all the way down to International Friendship Park or whatever it's called, and walked all the way back. Luckily didn't run into anybody we know, so we didn't have to worry about social distancing too much. There weren't too many people down there, but there were some people.
So the parks are still open?
Parks are open even after, what we're going to talk about with our first story. Parks are open. Playgrounds are closed. At the time that we went out, the playgrounds weren't closed, but I did tell my kids, just don't touch any hard surfaces anywhere. No railings, no anything.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So you still were active, and you probably still spent a lot of gas moving around.
Yeah, I didn't really go, other than coming to the office for the closing, I didn't really leave the downtown area. So 5-6 mile radius. But yeah, it was only really me leaving the house. Well, Sandra was still working. Everything but the house was still, today is going to be, I guess, their last day of going into anybody's houses or whatever, but they were still active. He has a big sale going on right now, but yeah, the kids stayed home. I didn't really let the kids leave the house except for that one trip to Smale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Maybe relaxing-ish.
Yeah. I'm not really worrying too much about what I can't control. And I'm just kind of, spending time with my kids and my family and trying to get as much work done as I can and just keeping it as positive as I can. We all are in the same boat. We all got to get through this. So just doing whatever I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, it was a It was a good week. It was an exciting week. A lot of highs, a few lows.
Yeah.
Before I get to my week, I have to acknowledge the fact that we are recording this via Zoom.
We are new format. So hopefully that works out.
If we sound different, if we sound better, maybe this is how it always should have been.
Oh, yeah.
If we sound worse, it's probably Alyssa's fault. But hopefully, we can continue to, put up this show every week and give people something to do while they are in quarantine.
Yeah, I mean, this is episode 41, you guys.
40. We missed the 40 episode when we would have drank a 40 the whole time we did the podcast.
Oh, we should have done that for sure.
That's why we need to hire a marketing person for that exact reason. Anyways,
we're not missing those opportunities.
Yeah, but no, we let's see, we moved this past Friday, so pretty much every day was spent preparing for that, and after Friday, every day is spent trying to find everything. Like, it's just throw everything in the garage, and then Jackie's like, "Do you know where my dryer sheets are?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Let me go through 100 boxes and dig for this." Because towards the end, it's just sort of everything you can grab. It's like supermarket sweep. Just throw it all in a box and just get it across the finish line. So we don't know where anything is. But no, the kids were home. The kids are in this new neighborhood. They're still playing outside with the neighbor kids.
Okay.
So we're permitting that, I guess. And everyone else sort of is. But no kids allowed inside. Adults kind of keep their distance. But there was a lot of happy hours that were scheduled this past week. And there was some campfire chats, 6-foot radiuses on every side. Kind of you try to get together. A lot of walking in the neighborhood. Maybe there's probably about 30 families there. So maybe they feel like self-quarantining as a community is safe. But who knows? But no, so for the week, I mean, other than just deal with all the stuff being thrown at us, which was, constantly, worrying what else is getting shut down. It was great. Had a wonderful time.
Good.
And let's get down to what's happening around us, though.
Yeah, for sure. Big update yesterday.
In Cincinnati. And we try to keep this somewhat COVID-19 free, but it's impossible because every story involves something with COVID. Doesn't matter what it is. Like Fiona the hippo could have taken a poop and they'd still somehow relate it to COVID-19.
Yeah.
Why don't I lead off in business news? Actually, we have a new section. It's called COVID-19 news.
We do.
Yeah, that's great. So on Sunday afternoon, in case you weren't aware, and you're currently getting pulled over and cited, let's see, Governor Mike DeWine announced an official shelter in place or stay home order for the state of Ohio. The governor and health director, Dr. Amy Acton, stressed that this is the time to stay home and do your part to stop the spread of the virus. Essentially, businesses will stay open and picking up food from restaurants is still allowed. All right, sorry, not essentially, but essential businesses can stay open, which is quite a big list of businesses. And you can pick up food from restaurants. You're also allowed to go outdoors for exercise as long as you maintain social distance. Parks are open. Playgrounds are closed. Basically, stay at home at all costs unless it's an emergency. So now, real estate agents and real estating, as we call it, is apparently an essential business.
It is.
No one's ever said anything I've ever done in life is essential until just now. So I'm like, wow, we are just as important as physicians and police, apparently, under the eyes of Mike DeWine, or our lobbyists, which I think we spend a lot of money on. Got Mike DeWine to include real estate stuff.
Yeah,
which as for those that aren't part of this podcast, which is everyone else, we did have a meeting, with the company earlier today, and we talked about, the fact that we can still operate, but should we, and how should we? And our buyers still touring houses. We had a neighbor post that they were holding an open house on Sunday on Facebook, and someone wrote, you've got to be kidding me, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point. And, yeah, I think,
Maybe virtual open house.
oh no, it was 11-1.
Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah, COVID, who cares sort of mentality. So, I think a lot of these essential businesses, even though they've gotten the go ahead to continue to operate, I mean, really think about what kind of role you're playing in society and if it's really essential, because you're lobbying dollars paid to say it's essential, it may not really be that essential. So obviously the people who have closings lined up, we still want to make sure they close. They still need to be out of their house, whether it's a lease that's up, whether it's someone who's, already closed on theirs and they have so much occupancy, they're gonna have no place to go. So that's stuff that's already in motion. For those of you out there who have owned a home, obviously, it would be a huge setback to find that you're stuck where you are because of this, or potentially have no place to go. So in that case, I do think it is essential.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, I think that, if you're someone who's just looking for the right house to come along, but you're fine in your house, then maybe, this is the time to wait. But if you're someone who, like you said, already has your house sold or your lease is up and you're not renewing your lease or something like that, you may need to find a place to live. So I think that those kind of things are good with precautions. We are offering, digital showings. We can FaceTime and things like that. And, keeping safe, keeping distant, keeping kids away from houses. Like you said, kids touch everything. So bringing kids to showings might not be the best idea right now, but, we'll do what we can to help those in need, but, gotta all be safe and do our part. The longer people don't comply with this, I was listening to the White House's press conference yesterday, and they're talking about how they're on day 7 of this 15-day, stay away from people thing, but there are still states that aren't requiring any kind of stay-at-home measures or shelter in place or whatever they're calling it. And so the longer we have holdouts, the longer this is going to go on. And, I don't think we're going to be back to business in 8 days. No. So obviously not in Ohio. We're just starting ours tonight. So we are recording this on Monday, the 23rd, and the stay-at-home order for Ohio goes into place at 11:59 tonight. And then that will be going through, I think, April 6th. So
a little shelter in place hack. Put a bag of Kroger goods on your passenger seat. So if you do get pulled over, you're like, boom, just went to Kroger.
Yes, we were out of milk.
Not to encourage that kind of behavior, but yeah, drive around with a jug of milk. They're like, sir, that expired a week and a half ago.
Your car smells.
Maybe Kroger, get those shelves stocked.
There you go. So in business, we have 4 stories for you this week. Fairfax Distiller, and one of my favorites, Carrick and Spirits Company, has recently closed due to the coronavirus. I think they are still doing delivery orders. I think you can maybe order online and maybe you can pick up spirits, but they've announced that they are going to be using their master distillers to produce hand sanitizer using a recipe provided by the World Health Organization. The sanitizer will come in 4-ounce bottles and will contain slightly more alcohol percentage than what is usually used in order to fight off all germs. The sanitizer will cost $3, or you can have your own container filled at the distillery by the ounce. 100% of the proceeds are going to servers, bartenders, and food runners, as well as hosts affected by the recent restaurant closure. They are keeping you updated on their social channels as to when this will be ready. So that's pretty cool.
I think that is awesome. And I will take like 30 bottles. I might roll in with a giant like plastic tub and just be like, fill it up.
There you go. I'm not sure if they have any limits in place, but
well, I'm starting to run low. Mm-hmm. And every time I touch anything, like I've had to go to Lowe's practically every day for stuff for the new house. And, I'll walk by people and I'll hold my breath. It's real weird. And then every time I have to pay, they're like, okay, you have to touch with a pin to confirm the price. And I'm like, And then I'll try to do it like my elbow. They're like, no, you got to use the pin. Yeah. And then I have to choose what kind of receipt I want. I'm just like, I don't want a receipt. Like, you have to pick one. And I'm just like, and then I go back around to the front where they have the wipes for the carts, and then my hand's there.
There you go. Maybe you could carry your own stylus.
What is that?
A stylus? Like you used to have with your little Palm Pilot?
I thought you meant like a stylist, like so I can improve my appearance. And I was like, what is that going to do? Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say there have been probably one or two of the local businesses that I've frequented over the last week where, everybody's saying, oh, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing that to keep everybody safe. There have been one or two where I've been like, yeah, I had to, I had to sign that receipt and you gave me the pen and I don't even see any hand sanitizer out. And that's not going to be one that I'm going to be going back to during this.
Yeah. I'm thinking about just throwing cash at them and saying, I don't want change. I don't want a receipt.
Right. Well, a lot of people are cashless. I've seen a lot of places, Cherbourg Cypress, for example, they're a gluten-free bakery, gluten-free, nut-free down by Finley Market. They're only accepting online orders. You can go to they are using one delivery service. I can't remember which one it is, but also they have an Etsy page set up. You have to pay online ahead of time. They're not even coming anywhere near you. They have all the orders set out on tables. You walk in, they've got their door like kind of taped open so you can just push it. And they're organized by like letter your last name. You go in, you pick up your bag and you walk out. So yeah, that's pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, good news if you're the elderly and you like Kroger. Starting this week, Kroger stores in Cincinnati, Dayton, and Northern Kentucky will be dedicating the first hour of service, which is 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., to customers age 60 and older, Monday through Thursday. Younger customers aren't explicitly barred from shopping during these hours, but they really should respect Kroger's request to let the older, more vulnerable crowd to get what they need first, aka don't be an a-hole, right? So
I think they're actually checking IDs at some Krogers.
Which is fine. First of all, who's up at 7 a.m. to go to Kroger anyways? Okay.
Old people.
Why not just, well, yeah, exactly. If someone's up that early, let them go. No one else wants to go.
Well, I think part of the order that came over yesterday actually is forcing people to do this. Any essential businesses that are remaining open, they do have to designate an hour of service for older and immunocompromised clients.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great.
Yep.
So
agreed.
Go to Kroger if you're old early.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of Kroger, if you find yourself without a job right now, they're hiring hundreds of people across the Cincinnati area for their retail stores, manufacturing plants, and distribution centers. Hires will start working in just a few days from applying with an average hourly wage of $15. There are several retailers, hardware stores, Walmarts, things like that are hiring right now. So if you do need something temporary, Amazon is hiring as well. Yeah, definitely check that out.
Well, so, I have a lot of respect and appreciation for all of these delivery people and anyone that's working to keep facilities running.
Yep.
But I can barely sign a pin pad, right now. I can't walk past someone without holding my breath in a store.
Yeah.
I get it. If you're fired from a restaurant, of course you're going to go work at Kroger. You need to do something.
Yeah.
But, Kroger stock is soaring right now. I'd probably be paying them a little bit more, than $15 an hour.
Yeah. Well, they're actually, because they have so many employees, they're exempted from some of the national rules about paying your employees if they're sick and things like that, because that was worked into one of the bills. Anybody over 500 employees, they don't have to send sick employees home.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think they also have a lot of those things in place already. It's not, there's no law, because I think from what I read, on one hand, they are exempting these companies. On the other side of it, they said, majority, if not almost all, have policies already in place because they're just that big. So it may not be as villainous as.
Well, and I think this is the thing is, if you are able to work and you are willing to work, then you should apply, because if they get enough associates, then they're more likely to allow people that are showing symptoms to go home, because they can meet the demand
Yeah.
of their customers if they have people who can work.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, over the weekend, 4 members from Cincinnati restaurant industry representing the Taste of Belgium, 4EG, what is that? What is 4EG? Is that like a restaurant group that owns everything?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I know who they are. Via Vitae and Jeff Ruby's gathered at a press conference with Mayor Cranley to lobby for a $225 billion bailout to be delivered from the federal government within the next 2 weeks. The National Restaurant Agency, the good NRA, that's funny, claims that the industry could lose $225 billion in losses, as well as 5 to 7 million jobs over the next 3 months. The Ruby's organization had to lay off over 600 people. Taste of Belgium reduced their workforce to just 20 from 263.
Wow, that is crazy. And, speaking of that, if you are, just because you're doing pickup and takeout and that's all you can do from these places, still please tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what's going to happen. Basically, it's going to be just a bunch of single guys with food trucks, in the future.
Yeah, it's really scary for sure. That's why, I've been doing my personal part and I've been making sure I've never posted as much food on Instagram as I have over this last week. And I've been tagging all of these businesses because it's just, it's really one of my favorite things about Cincinnati is the local restaurant population. We don't really go to chain restaurants. It's not really a New York thing. So I think maybe we just got used to local restaurants in New York. I mean, you can't find a Wendy's there. And so it's just one of the best parts about the city is that we have this great local restaurant culture. And, that's the one thing I really worry about after we get out of this, other than obviously people physically surviving, is that these restaurants are going to...
Let's talk about germs and how they travel on food, if at all.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a risk that somebody who's making up your fettuccine Alfredo and assembling it into some sort of a to-go container and putting it in a bag, it's not going to live on the bag?
There's not enough research about COVID-19 from what I've read yet to be able to tell you whether or not it is traveling via any kind of like liquids or whatever. I think the softer a substance that they're using to transmit your food, the better. Like if it's more of a papery thing, you're better off. If it's more of a plastic or aluminum, then there is a possibility that it could be transmitted on harder surfaces, more non-porous surfaces. Obviously, if they're using gloves, if they're using the best...
you don't know this stuff. You mean the front counter?
It really... That's why,
So what you're saying is if I can get
I'm going to places I trust, I'm going to places I can see what they're doing. I'm not going to McDonald's. I'm not going to places like that I don't really trust their hygiene.
Oh, McDonald's has a gigantic manual and they are inspected on the reg.
But does it mean that their associates care enough to follow it?
Oh my God.
I just don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I've seen a lot of the who's the Gordon Ramsay,
mm-hmm.
when he goes into these restaurants,
mm-hmm.
doesn't do a lot of McDonald's. Okay. He does these home-based businesses that are just disgusting because there's no oversight.
Yeah.
Not to totally trash an industry that's falling apart, but I just think all food is bad unless you grow it yourself.
Okay.
It's the only way.
There you go.
Grow your corn in your backyard and your potatoes.
Yeah, my garden's not really up and running yet. It's been too cold. I've got some basil in my kitchen window, but that's about it.
Well, we have nothing.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay. Well, in politics, we do have 2 stories for you this week.
Billions and billions and billions.
Mere hours before Ohio was supposed to vote last week, Ohio Health Director Dr. Amy Acton signed a health order postponing the Ohio elections to coincide with the CDC's guidelines of limiting gatherings of more than 50 people. Some Ohio Republicans have called the act unconstitutional and are calling for DeWine's impeachment. Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio fears that the precedent may set for the general election what the president might set for the general election in November should there still be health concerns. So obviously people on both sides of the spectrum are a little concerned about this. We touched on this last week a little bit. I I don't love the precedent. I do worry about November, but I think that, as with all emergency measures that we're taking right now, we just need to make sure that that they're very limited. I think that the AG, the U.S. Attorney General, has called for suspending the speedy trial thing. That scares crap out of me.
Yeah.
Like, no thanks. So I think we all just need to make sure we're voicing our opinions here and not just letting power run away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say to that. I'm more worried about them not shutting down the Olympics. Can you imagine if you're an athlete and they're still like saying, oh no, trials will happen in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And these people, it's like, oh, once every 4 years you get to do something and that's how you make all your money.
Well, I think that's definitely an issue.
Like,
I think they're trying to reschedule them for next year. That's what they're looking at. Right now, the Olympic commissioner is like, nope, it's happening. We're having the Olympics. We're not shutting them down.
Yeah, all the countries are like, Canada's like, well, we're out.
Yeah.
We're going to take our 6 anticipated medals and we're going home.
Some of the U.S. delegations have also said that they're not participating.
Yeah. So, it sounds like it was things as bad as they are. I don't know if newly elected people would come into office and it would result in another 6 months of nothing happening. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But let's see. Let's talk about something more exciting, like how many people are currently in the world. Over the past 2 weeks, mailboxes in the Cincinnati region should have gotten letters from the Census Bureau.
I did.
I did too. These can be filled out either online, by mail, or phone. Filling out the census is really important as it helps to allocate over $1.5 trillion in federal spending for states, counties, and municipalities, as well as deciding state congressional seats. If you fill it out online, it takes less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it stops the census workers from having to go around door to door to get the people that haven't filled it out online.
Yeah. Then you don't have to interact with somebody.
Yeah, no, definitely. Couldn't have been better timing for this to come out with a digital option.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fun.
Weird. All right. So sports. Moving on to sports. Silver lining for the Reds in our quick Cincy sports update this week. Reds manager David Bell is doing his best to keep his players in shape for whenever the MLB season does start. He said each player has their own individualized plan. Also, injured players like Eugenio Suarez and Nick Nick Senzel should be fully recovered when opening day does finally roll around. Originally, they would have missed the first few weeks of games. So
every team should be healthy for the most part. Yeah. What's interesting now is with some of these sports is that some of the they haven't yet forfeited players' pay, but now that's on the table for some of these different organizations. Really? Because usually act of God, pandemic, things like this is a reason to not pay them. So it's going to get real when all the players stop getting paid. Yeah. In Bengals news, Fox Sports personality Colin Cowherd claimed that the Bengals should trade their opportunity at Joe Burrow for other picks in the upcoming draft, saying that he'll get no help and will struggle in Cincinnati. Wide receiver Tyler Boyd said in response, "The way the media talks so down to us is really absurd. The disrespect is crazy." And running back Joe Mixon said, "Straight clowns, bro." Which straight clown, do me explain what that means for you?
Please.
Your type. Straight clowns means they're being silly. And bro, that's not really his brother, but it's an affectionate way of saying friend. Okay. He said, "Come September, we about to turn up all year on they ass." All right. I like Joe Mixon. He loves Cincinnati too.
Well, and I read a headline this week. I did not read the article because I do not care, but read a headline this week that said something about the fact that Cincinnati is making some moves with free agency this year, which we don't generally tend to.
No, they signed a guard. They signed a linebacker. We got a corner. Like they're going out and they're actually paying money, which a lot of people think that that Mike Brown has actually stepped aside and his daughter's doing things because we never do anything in free agency. So, and someone told me that about 6-8 months ago. He said, "Hey, I got the inside track. His daughter's going to start running operations," which maybe explains why we're seeing a different strategy in the off season, which we normally don't experience. Maybe she's playing to actually be competitive, so that fans want to continue to buy tickets, which is a novel idea.
Go figure.
Yeah. So it sounds like, all this, all this disrespect, could give the players motivation to do well in this upcoming season.
No, for sure. Now, have we gotten rid of Dalton yet?
No. No.
That
So
seems like that could be.
no, they thought he was going to go to the
sour.
Patriots, and now it looks like the Patriots are probably going to draft Cam Newton. So we don't really know where Dalton's going, but hey, I wouldn't mind keeping him around if he doesn't have, he can help mentor Burrow. We need a good backup quarterback. Who knows what's going to happen? So, no, I think Dalton's good. It's been a bad organization for a while. So
yeah, for sure. All right. In entertainment news, we have 3 stories for you this week.
Happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
People that are only famous in Cincinnati. That came out from City Beat this weekend. They put together this list of 21 people. It's one of my favorite, topics on this podcast that we cover, all these lists that make no sense. But these are 21 people that are only famous in Cincinnati. A few of them are Blake Maislin, your favorite, Brett, the personal lawyer with the catchiest commercial in town.
My kids like it too.
Do they?
My kids sing it.
That's funny.
For the record, I knew 5 of these 21 people. So
yeah,
they're not
me either. I didn't know any of them. Yeah. Like this next one, Ed and Alysa from All Good Home Improvement. Who?
You don't know these people? We'll save you a lot of money.
Oh, okay. Maybe because I don't watch commercials. There you go. The iconic father and daughter. Apparently.
Wow. You're so above all of us, Alysa. You don't watch commercials?
No.
You mean you do something else?
First of all, I usually stream or DVR, and then I fast forward them. And like, if it's Hulu, if the commercials come on, I get up and do something. Anyway, apparently they'll save us a lot of money.
Like I do crunches and sit-ups during that time.
Yeah, sure. Jeff and Jen, I did know them, the Q102 host duo that bring Cincinnati popular radio segments such as Second Date Update and The Best Friend Game. And Ed Hartman from Furniture Fair, who I did know, I just didn't know his name. He's that remarkably tiny little guy in all the furniture commercials. He
has gotten old. Like now when I see him, he's got big old, like his face is sagging a little bit more every time I see him. I mean, good for him to keep it going.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, but it's a fun list, and we'll post that link in the show notes and see if you know any of these folks.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of anyone that's not on there that people don't know. Maybe
Fat Ben.
Fat Ben.
Yeah, Fat Ben's a good Cincinnati celebrity that's not on the list.
How about that guy that got off his roof finally after the Bengals won a game?
Oh yeah.
Where's the follow-up? We need to do a follow-up story on that guy next week.
We should.
Hey, producer Ryan, make sure we talk about that guy. We should do a recap of what did we talk about over the past 40 episodes that we need to bring people.
Oh yeah, that we need to follow up on.
Yeah, an update.
For sure.
Where are they now episode? Yeah. All right. So speaking of local breweries doing things for the public, bars might be closed, but the fine people of Cincinnati still need their beer. Oakley's Mad Tree Brewing is sending adult ice cream trucks with cold beer and fresh pizza from their in-house pizzeria. You can look up their routes and timelines on their website. Westside Brewing also announced that you can either pick up beer at the brewery from 4 to 7, Monday through Saturday, or at local hardware store, Woods Hardware on the west side, to help keep all these guys afloat. So
update to that. Apparently, so that's in Cheviot. Westside Brewing is in Cheviot, as is Woods Hardware. And the reason they were allowed to do pickup there is because they weren't exchanging any money, right? You were ordering online and then picking up at the hardware store, which they are a UPS pickup point. So it was just like picking up your Amazon package.
Yeah.
So there was no commerce there. They didn't need a liquor license, whatever. Well, apparently the mayor of Cheviot, who is a local bar owner in Cheviot, and the police chief came in and like threatened to shut him down. So they're like reporting them to the liquor agency. And like there's been this whole big thing on Facebook. Everybody's like flipping out and, calling the mayor out for having conflict of interest. And everybody's it's been a big scandal. So I don't know that they're still doing that. I would check beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
But,
fun stuff.
Help keep these guys afloat. I guess if you can buy from the local, brewery, that is better than buying from your local Kroger.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. But they would still rather you do go pick up some Coors Light. So they still, make some money from that, just not as high margin.
Yeah. Sorry, you cut in and out there a little bit, so I heard nothing of what you said.
Oh no.
So there might be some times where you guys hear Alyssa sound like a robot.
Yeah, I've had that happen to you a couple times during the podcast.
Or me. I might sound like a robot.
Yeah.
But just
we're doing what we can do in a time.
But just make up what you wanted to hear. Okay? It's like the games we play when my kids are in quarantine. Just pretend you're doing something fun. Pretend like you have food and friends. Pretend like your brother is really your friend Liam.
Yes, there you go. So we do have a list of 5 local restaurants offering carry out during this time. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see tons of other ones as well.
If you follow me on, if people follow me on Instagram, they'll see my one posting from 2017.
Love it. Coffee Emporium with locations in Hyde Park and downtown. You can get your local fix for all things coffee, tea, pastry, breakfast, and more. Condado Tacos, located in the Banks and in Oakley. Oh, I didn't realize they had one in Oakley. You can build your own taco boxes with 30 tacos for $99. And each order comes with free coloring.
30 tacos for $99.
Feel like
you're not allowed to be around friends. You're not allowed to be around that many people.
I guess if you have a really big family.
All right, you and your 4 other family members are each going to eat 6 tacos.
I think at Che Empanadas, you can get 12 empanadas for $30. That sounds.
Are these tacos like this big?
No.
And then I feel like if they're like pizza rolls, then
I can still only really eat like 3 tacos.
I can eat like 2. Yeah. And then I can probably watch a third never make it into my mouth. Maybe I can eat a third.
I could do like 3 or 4 tacos if I wasn't doing like guacamole and nachos and all the other things that you tend to do when you get tacos. But Sleepy Bee Cafe, located in Oakley, Blue Ash, and downtown. You can get delicious breakfast and lunch options from 8 to 2. Wild Mike's on the west side. Get your wings fix. They have locations in Delhi, Green Township, and Miami Heights. Pendleton Parlor, apparently you can still get your sweet tooth satisfied with cookie dough and ice cream combos from This Ice Cream Hotspot. Obviously, with all of these, I would check their social or website day of to make sure, because I know a lot of restaurants have been updating their hours and shortening them as this goes further and further.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So what are you doing this weekend, Brett?
Oh, well, let's see. Probably putting boxes into the basement from the garage.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think what else do I have that's exciting. I might put my sweaters away onto my shelf that are currently in a suitcase.
Fantastic.
Maybe mount a TV.
Ooh. Yeah. So another trip to Lowe's then.
And I'm going to do a virtual happy hour too. That's my goal this weekend, is to sit around and talk, and I imagine it's gonna be really awkward. It's gonna be like, so what do you guys want to talk about? And they're like, I don't know. Like, okay, what are you doing? I'm on this video chat with you and I'm drinking. Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. Is that a dog in the background? No, that's my kid. Okay. So what's new? Well, nothing. We're stuck inside. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I do feel like the conversations will get harder the longer this goes on.
Yeah. It's like, so what are you watching on Netflix? Oh, this. Oh, I've already seen that. What else? This. Oh, yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah. Oh, did you watch Spencer Confidential?
No.
Oh, you should check it out. It's a new Mark Wahlberg. It's really good. That's on Netflix.
I did watch it.
Yeah. Did you watch that?
I did.
I enjoyed it. So the Riviera, the Riviera he's driving throughout the whole movie. That was my first car. Mine was burgundy. But it was humongous.
That's a pretty cool car.
Yeah, it had those felt seats, and it had dual temperature for the passenger and driver's side. It was very fancy. Yeah,
it was so big that it could fit 2 individual air conditioners.
Oh, it was humongous. It was a boat. It was a V8. I never worried about getting in an accident because I knew I'd be fine.
That's
crush
good.
Anybody else. But,
yeah, kill everybody else.
Yeah.
So, sure. But that's so I have nothing going on, and I don't. Do you have anything going on?
I do not. I will be, sheltering in place, and I did check out the weather forecast for this weekend. It's looking warm, but it's like 99% chance of rain, 100% chance of rain, 99% chance of rain. So I will probably be taking any 5 seconds I can that it's not raining to get outside in my yard. I might do some gardening, but I've been doing some cleaning. I've been doing like 1 room per day, just really like gutting it. I think I'm generally a pretty clean person. Then you have quarantine levels of time.
Are you in your bedroom right now and there's a soap dispenser in the back corner of you?
It's lotion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hand cream. But I am in my bedroom because it's the quietest.
And you have a glowing rock too? Is that an orb
Himalayan
that gives you something?
Lamp.
It's a what?
Himalayan sea salt lamp.
Does it give you powers or energy?
It is supposed to help your respiration.
Oh.
Yeah. Just gives off a nice gentle glow too.
You know, I think was funny is you talked about some gluten situation earlier. I don't remember exactly, but some restaurant that was gluten-free.
Oh yeah, Sherbrooke Cypress, yeah.
And I remember seeing people are posting all these photos where like all the flour is all gone on the shelves, and then all of the different like gluten-free alternative flours are fully in stock. And there's a comment about, suddenly with this pandemic, everybody has gotten over their gluten allergy, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, no, I love it because I do a lot of gluten-free cooking and baking, so I've been able to find everything I need. But,
cool. Yeah. Well, for those people that are stuck at home, let's give them some options. All right. So here's a few things you can do if you are looking for some new content to stream. The Cincinnati Art Museum, Cincinnati Museum Center, Cincinnati Zoo, and Skirball Museum. What is this? Skirball? Like skee ball?
I have no idea.
Skirball.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun game. Anyways, I'm betting it's a typo. What do you think he meant?
I don't know. I think that's what it's called. I feel like I've heard of it before, but I have no idea what it is.
Kids, we're going to play skirball. You're like, skee ball? You're like, no. It's a museum.
Somebody's name or something.
Yeah. Anyways, they're hosting virtual tours and programming on their websites. Many of them also have child activities for kids or the kid in you.
Oh.
If you're an adult.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There are plenty of workout options too. You can be on YouTube doing some workout tutorials. Amazon Prime has a varied library, including Zumba and cardio. And my local gym where I do my yoga and Pilates, Plank, Cincy, they are doing a really cool thing to help, since they have to be closed right now. For $12 a week, you can get a week's worth of virtual classes. So she goes on and does a Facebook Live video, which is then saved on the private Facebook group, and you can access it for the whole week, and you can do the workouts whenever you want. I did a Pilates workout yesterday that, I'm real sore.
$12 a week?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's usually about $12 a class. So this way you get a whole worth of, exercise for $12.
I guess that makes sense. I don't know what stuff costs anymore.
Yeah,
it seems like a nice, I don't know.
Yeah. So what is it? $48 a month. So it's less than your Peloton.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon's like, or $99 a year. And like, let's say Netflix is like $8 a month.
Yeah.
All these things are relatively affordable. And 48, I don't know. I don't even bash the virtual content providers, but maybe streaming is super cheap and the prices need to come up. I don't know. But
maybe.
Yeah, maybe they have a lot of great content that I can start watching because I watch everything on Netflix.
There you go.
Yeah. And if you're looking for crafting, check out my Instagram where I have all sorts of crafting ideas. No, I guess go to Pinterest and search for indoor or everyday crafts and you'll get 1,000 results. That is our recommendation. If you want to craft. Wow. That's some good advice. If you're looking for some crafting options, use Google. Google it.
Apparently, actually, Michael's is still open. They're considered essential business because they sell school supplies. Isn't that ridiculous?
School's out. Oh, for homeschooling?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No one's really homeschooling.
Terrible.
They're all just hanging out.
Yeah. Well, that is all for This Week in Cincinnati. Since you are all stuck indoors, you might as well do us a favor and share this podcast on your social media, as well as rating and reviewing us on iTunes. We are very close to reaching some major milestones on our social channels and would love for you to get us over the hump there. Now, stay tuned for the cleanup with our producer, Ryan Taulbee, as he corrects all the mistakes and misinformation we tried to feed you as fact. usual throughout this episode. For Brett and myself, have an amazing week this week in Cincinnati. Stay safe.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Clean Up with producer Ryan. Welcome to my wonderful pad here, the work from home zone here at producer Ryan's crib. So let's get right into it. Bengals free agency. The Bengals have actually spent $95 million on defensive tackle DJ Redder, cornerback Trey Waynes, and offensive lineman Xavier Zuafilo. Which is more than they've ever spent ever. So I guess good on the Bengals. Also, the Olympics are shut down. They've been postponed to 2021. I'm not sure if it's super official right now, but basically every single reputable news source is saying that they are shut down and that they're being postponed. So we're just going to go ahead and confirm that. As for the Bengals fan on the roof, I do not have any updates. Sorry for everyone. I will do more work into that for next week. As for Westside Brewing, they are now delivering beer straight to your door. So head to their website if you're interested in getting Westside Brewing beer delivered right to your door. They also do kegs and growlers and merch. So hit up westsidebrewing.com. They can hook you up with that. And the Skirbel Museum is actually a century-old Jewish museum, one of the oldest repositories of Jewish stuff, Jewish cultural artifacts in America. And they have a bunch of digital stuff you can watch while you are stuck inside. So check that out. And also, please send me what do you want me to do? As far as these crafting ideas go. What am I supposed to do? Look up crafts? I'm going to guess. Send me your crafting ideas so Brett will get off my back about that. That'd be great. But other than that, thanks for listening, guys, and have a great week this week in Cincinnati. And we will see you guys next week on This Week in Cincinnati. Bye-bye.